Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. The Lakers got a big win over the Warriors, with a basket from Austin Reaves in the last second of the game. The Lakers are in 6th place in the Western Conference, with a 17-13 record. The Lakers are close to trading for a big star, or a big center and a sharpshooter. But in every negotiation attempt, rivals ask the Lakers to send Austin Reaves in return. Reaves is coveted by several teams, such as Atlanta Hawks, Oklahoma City Thunder, Los Angeles Clippers, and Milwaukee Bucks. He's a fan favorite, and should the Lakers trade Austin Reaves for a star? Or keep Reaves and trade other players for a star-less scoring center and wing? Lakers owner makes drastic decision about trading Austin Reaves. The Los Angeles Lakers' stance of not trading away Austin Reaves for someone like Zach LaVine still holds strong this trade season. The Los Angeles Lakers are still expected to be searching the market for the right upgrades that can transform their season. Even though they're 16-12 and looking well-positioned to be a top 6 team in the West, it's clear that they need more firepower across their roster to be legitimate contenders. Zach LaVine has been mentioned as a potential Lakers target for years now until chatter died down last season. With LaVine's improved form, it seems like the Lakers could explore a deal for the Chicago Bulls swingman, but not at the cost of Austin Reaves, according to Joe Cowley in the Chicago Sun-Times. There have been whispers about the Lakers for over a year now, but a source said that the pieces that would have to be swapped don't fit, and Los Angeles remains steadfast that Austin Reaves isn't going to be included. Reaves was heavily rumored to be the centerpiece of a Zach LaVine trade last winter as well until Chris Haynes made it clear that the Lakers don't want to part with their homegrown talent for LaVine's massive contract and questionable injury history. I think any deal involving the Lakers will have to include Austin Reaves. What I am told is that the Lakers are not interested at all in moving Austin Reaves. Reaves is averaging 17.4 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 5.1 assists this season, shining as a certified member of the Lakers' starting lineup. He's currently sidelined with a minor injury but has looked like a fantastic guard for the Lakers who will continue to be protected as he's on an affordable contract until 2028, something the Lakers need to build under the new cap regulations. LaVine is averaging a more pronounced 21.7 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4.1 assists this season, but his $43 million deal is still hard for the Lakers to match in a trade. It wouldn't just include Reaves, it would likely include D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, and more to just make the salaries line up to facilitate a LaVine acquisition. The odds of it happening are slim to none in my opinion, as the Lakers know better to saddle themselves with LaVine's contract, which would make them a guaranteed second-apron team until LeBron James and Anthony Davis are on the roster. The team's priority also should be to add depth instead of one big-name player, as the team needs to add a new guard, a 3-and-D threat, and a big man more than they need one borderline all-star talent. They don't have the assets to take a risk on a player like LaVine or Brandon Ingram and instead should look to multiplayer deals to swap out their misfiring rotation in deals with teams like the Portland Trail Blazers. They need to be intelligent about how they proceed, so it's unsurprising that they're not interested in including Reaves for LaVine. Austin Reaves almost cried after hitting amazing game winner against Warriors. Austin Reaves reflected on a moment of true emotion after his incredible game-winning layup against the Warriors. Austin Reaves had arguably the greatest moment of his career with the Los Angeles Lakers last night, as he made the game-winning layup to end the 115-113 Classic against the Golden State Warriors. After the game, Reaves spoke on the range of emotions he experienced in the moments after the game and looked back on his journey to the NBA. "I'm not really an emotional person. But when I was doing radio out there, got the game ball, and threw it to D'Lo, there was a quick second where I thought I might tear up. That doesn't happen a lot. But it's Christmas. I know my parents are back home watching, my brother is probably in Germany right now. All my people back home are locked in and sitting around watching the game. That means a lot to me. I say it all the time, I'm not necessarily supposed to be in this position. I got lucky, got my foot in the door, and took advantage of an opportunity. Now, I'm sitting here, on Christmas, with a game winner and a triple-double. It's really the win that matters the most to me. Austin Reaves had a brilliant game against the Golden State Warriors, putting up a sensational triple-double with 26 points, 8 to 20 FG, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and a steal. His game-winning drive was just the cherry on top of what was a sensational outing from the undrafted star. Reaves revealed after the game that the original play called for the final stretch was for LeBron James. But he decided at the moment to drive to the basket, and it's hard to argue that it wasn't the right call. The Lakers have seemingly found their reliable third option behind LeBron James and Anthony Davis in Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves' performance tonight wasn't just incredible, but also necessary. Anthony Davis went down with an injury after playing just 7 minutes. With arguably their best player off the court, J.J. Redick needed one of his players to step up and play a starring role. And that is exactly what Reaves did tonight. The Lakers are expected to make a trade before the February 6th deadline. Whoever they choose to get, they must make sure they hold on to Austin Reaves. Aside from LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Reaves is the Lakers' only other consistent star. He consistently performs at a high level, something that cannot be said about anyone else on the Lakers roster. For the season, Austin Reaves is averaging 17.0 points, 4.9 assists, 3.8 rebounds, 1.1 steals, and 0.2 blocks per game while shooting 44% from the field, 35.2% from the three-point line, and 79.5% from the charity stripe. Keep an eye out on the Lakers until the trade deadline, as they are going to make at least one if not multiple moves to improve their roster. But one thing is for certain, Austin Reaves must be untouchable going forward. The unlikely change that could save Lakers from erratic tendencies. The most controversial decision of the season could improve the Lakers' championship odds. The Los Angeles Lakers have officially entered uncharted territory. They're consistently fighting off a dip below the .500 line, but the process of overcoming a tumultuous first third of the 2024-25 season has been defined by uncertainty surrounding the most consistent player in NBA history. As the Lakers weigh their options and evaluate the best path towards sustainable success, an unlikely decision is staring them directly in the face. LeBron James entered his 22nd NBA season with a remarkable amount of momentum. He was the MVP of the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, guiding Team USA to a gold medal that few expected him to play such a significant role in winning at 39 years of age. Unfortunately, James has struggled to maintain his usual level of all-around quality during the 2024-25 NBA regular season. The numbers look great. He's averaging 22.6 points, 9.0 assists, 7.9 rebounds, and 2.03-point field goals made per game while maintaining an impressive level of efficiency with a slash line of .486/.362/.748. Beyond the individual production, however, is a pending realization that the best option for James may be slightly decreasing his playing time and thus improving his form on defense. Fewer minutes could lead to a bigger impact from LeBron James. James is the epitome of longevity and one of the few athletes against whom Father Time hasn't yet won his endless war. He's maintained a remarkable level of production for 22 years, and even as his scoring has declined in 2023-24, he's yet again flirting with a nightly triple-double. James' defensive consistency has been at a career low, however, and the Lakers can no longer avoid that haunting reality. Los Angeles is currently allowing a team-worst 116.3 points per 100 possessions when James is on the court. That number drops to a team-best 106.5 when he isn't, a 9.8-point difference and a clear example of what's gone wrong in 2024-25. James is still capable of dissecting a defense and making plays that most superstars could only dream of, but the Lakers aren't a strong enough defensive team to support his quality on that end. A potential resolution could be decreasing James' minutes to increase the per-minute output he's able to provide. It may lead to a slight decline in his offensive production, but it could offset the defensive concerns by allowing him more time to rest within games. This isn't to say that the Lakers need to cut his playing time in half, nor anything near it, but his current average of 35.0 minutes per game hasn't lent itself to two-way value. By dropping that number closer to 30 minutes per contest, Los Angeles would give James a chance to expend more energy when he's on the court and improve his odds of having a superstar-level postseason. Questions would inevitably arise about who could pick up the additional minutes, but the likes of Dalton Knecht and an improving Max Christie could certainly use the additional playing time. Perhaps James will turn back the clocks and provide improved quality on defense regardless, but if that doesn't happen organically, slightly decreasing his playing time could be the answer. Lakers want young stars who can play long-term under J.J. Redick. The Los Angeles Lakers will target players who could play under J.J. Redick for 3 to 5 years for the long-term health of the franchise. The Los Angeles Lakers are being expected by many to be an extremely active franchise around the trade deadline, given the large-scale rotational changes the team needs to make for a realistic shot at contention. There are multiple key areas of need from a positional standpoint, but the Lakers can't just acquire players based on positional fit, with Shams Charania revealing they're looking for something more. The Lakers are trying to acquire players who are young enough to grow alongside rookie head coach J.J. Redick to form the nucleus of the franchise's roster going forward for the next 3 to 5 years. They want a player or players that they feel can get this alliteration of this team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but can also play 3, 4, 5 more years under J.J. Redick as the head coach. The Lakers are looking for win-now players who are in their mid to late 20s, which will be an expensive find in the current market. Every team is looking for players who are young enough to grow on the roster while also being on affordable contracts so they can be long-term pieces. Thankfully, there are options for LA if they want to look around the NBA and pay the price that teams put on their players. They could acquire multiple trailblazers if they wanted to and get reinforcements for their guard, wing, and big man position with players Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, and Robert Williams, who could all contribute to Redick's core for the next few years. Teams like the Utah Jazz also have an assortment of mid-range veterans like Colin Sexton, Walker Kessler, and John Collins that the Lakers could make a blockbuster move for. They have the skill sets the Lakers need to add to their roster, which being young enough to continue growing under Redick. Finally, the Lakers need to look at what they can get from the Washington Wizards beyond Jonas Valanciunas. Bringing back someone like Kyle Kuzma alongside a veteran guard like Malcolm Brogdon could be fantastic for the franchise's future plans as well as help them win with LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the present. The Lakers can create options for themselves, but they also need to be willing to part with a future first-round pick for this. Nobody will give them multiple rotational players with the upside they're looking for without draft assets, so Rob Pelinka needs to figure out a move soon or other teams will jump into the market and potentially leave the Lakers behind. Lakers' J.J. Redick explains why LA's offense is ranked 29th over the past month. Lakers don't have a particularly potent offense right now. They weren't able to play games where they scored a lot of points. Many of his victories were because of his defense. They have scored 116 points or more just once in the last 7 games. December was brutal for them offensively. Before the last few games, their offense was 29th in the league over the last 4 weeks. It was a struggle for them to put the ball in the basket with any consistency. For a team that was so good offensively in the first few weeks of the year, it's strange. The Lakers need to fix this as the season gets closer to the playoffs. A change in the trade deadline could also help with that, but head coach J.J. Redick has a bigger reason for the struggle on offense, and it's a pretty simple reason. He doesn't think the team is shooting enough three-pointers. the offensive part, I think in some ways it's no different than defensively, because it's the same thing, he said. For the group, how do we create and generate good shots? I think it's not one thing, it's probably a few things. I would probably immediately point to our pitching profile. In the last 13 games, we're taking 5 more unpainted twos, we're shooting 39% on them. And for all the people who hate math, I shared this with the team this morning and I think it's really interesting. We've been last, or second to last, in the last 13 games in our offense. Those 5 extra unpainted twos, if we shot them at the same rate as Phoenix, which shoots 49% on unpainted twos, our offense would go from 29th to 27th.